Hello everyone, welcome back to Wartburg. Today I have some pretty fun plans. It's just going to be more of a relaxing time-lapse video I think today, because all I want to do is kind of solidify the downtown and round it up, because sooner rather than later I would like to move on to this island on the right hand side here and start developing all of this green space we have and do some exciting stuff with it. But before that, I kind of want to just round off the downtown area so I can move on and be building with a clear mind, knowing that this is pretty much finished. Now, I don't have to get it 100% complete because there's always going to be more stuff that I want to add. But what I mainly want to do is fill in some of the gaps. You can kind of see in the middle here, there's this kind of triangle shape that's completely empty. There's just a few gaps here and there. Probably not down near the docks because this is quite mountainous. I might just detail it and make it more green, and probably put some passing and make it a bit of a public park. Like over here down near the docks, I probably want to expand all this industrial area down here, fill in these housing districts up here, and just kind of clear it all up and make it nice and clean. Granted, I probably should have done this episode before I did the tour in Wartburg episode, because why would I clean everything up after I've shown it all off? But it doesn't matter. I can do another one sooner rather than later. So what I'm going to do first is just jump in this middle space here and probably fill it with offices and shopping buildings, commercial buildings, because this is the one that annoys me the most, because it's kind of like slap bang in the middle, the most densest place, and it's got nothing in it. And then what I'll do is transition out to the residential area up here, fill all this in, and then finish it off with the industrial district down here. And there's also one or two things that I want to add in towards the end that you will see soon. So after having filled in a pretty good number of empty spots with the residential and commercial areas, other than the fact we have like an abnormal amount of commercial demand still, even though we put quite a lot in, we've soaked up all the residential demand, and then we have a little bit of demand for industry or offices. And given the fact we have a lot of offices in the downtown, we've kind of turned away from proper industry and like material consumption and production, which I want to boost, because throughout the city with all of our commercial zones, you can see we're having quite a bit of issues with not enough goods to sell, which means we've not got enough industry basically. So we've got plenty of special factories, all which pretty much have full capacity with regards to raw materials from our specialized industrial areas. But I'm thinking I want to put 1 or 2 more special factories in, and then fill the rest of the area in with general industry area. So I already have the industrial evolution style on here, so when we zone industry it'll all look pretty good. So one thing I also want to do is, where is it? Here it is, the waste processing complex. We have plenty, but the only issue is there's not a lot of waste transfer trucks going out to the waste transfer facilities and collecting stuff, although that one's just emptied super quick. So all I either want to do is, I probably don't want to place one of these down yet, because obviously you can see the reserves are filling up, but there's a lot more space in them. So I don't need to place one now, but I just want to keep it in mind for the future, because like it fits in perfectly here. Now, to be fair, we have so much money in the bank, I would assume there's no harm future proofing, because you can see we're in the green for our garbage processing status. And we have so much room that I don't think it would be terrible. And you can see there is quite a couple of buildings that aren't bright blue, which means they're fully okay with garbage collection. There's a couple that are a bit of a darker greeny / orange colour. So we are on quite a large slope, so this is probably going to cause quite a bit of issues. Anywhere that's flat that I could put it. I think here works quite nicely. Yeah, we are going to have quite a few issues with slopes in this industrial area. But it's not the end of the world, because it's an industrial area, so it doesn't have to be the most pretty thing. Now, what I was thinking of doing here is actually flattening it all out. I actually saw this. This was a really long time ago when I think about it now, maybe even years ago, of someone who made an industrial area, and then obviously you want it to be as flat as possible for your unique factories, which are huge. So what you can do is obviously flatten the land out completely, and that leaves some massive slopes, and then actually just put a key wall around the outside. I don't know if I'd want to use the wherever it is, this normal baseline key or the Concept Creator Pack one, but I think I'll use the bog standard one, because it just, I think the plain grey suits the area a little bit better. So I want to get this right in the corner and hopefully get it to follow the grid so it runs parallel to the road. So I think that is the right distance away. I just need to take it up and make it level with the road, and then there's also a central node in there as well. But once that all actually gets lined up with the road, you can see it does look quite good. Now there is a little bit at the bottom that protrudes because it is so close to the road, and I could slightly fix that by taking it out just here rather than having it right next to the road, so that would be to there as well. And then if I take these both up to height, there we go. Now it's a nice clean edge. Obviously you need anarchy on to do that, but it just adds a nice kind of basin look to your industrial area, and I feel like it's quite an industrial look as well. So I want to just fill in the straights with this, and then I can add the curves afterwards. And then I can just run a path off the end or cover it up with trees to make it look a bit better. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's actually a terrible curve. I may need snaps on for the curves, although it will... Yeah, perfect, there we go. If I also bend this one round, it doesn't want to line up. Come on, we'll just eyeball it. There we go. And then it looks good enough is what I'll say. And then I just need to level this all up to the same height as the road. So now that's complete, I think it does look pretty good. You can see there's a few bumps with the terrain next to the road, but with obviously these keys aren't meant to be placed on land, they're meant to be placed next to water, and roads do get a bit funky when you get too close to them. I had to sacrifice a little bit of realism for looks here with the slope of this road. It's still not that bad at all, to be honest. And you might have been able to tell in the time lapse, this corner and section was giving me quite a few problems of being slightly weird, but we resolved that all quick enough. And I seem to have used a different type of road here. I don't know how actually. I don't know what kind of road that is that I've used differently. It's just a normal 6-lane road. Oh, it's an asymmetrical 5-lane road, that's why. What actually is that? There we go, so that's all the same now. And now I need to remove the traffic lights off here, because we don't want them. There we go, so now this area is prepped for further industrial expansion. I don't know if I need to do the same here, because the slopes near the top are bad, but near the bottom they're quite alright, so I would assume this isn't the worst hill to build industry on. It is quite steep, but it shouldn't be that bad. It's not necessary of digging the entire mountainside out, which I assume is quite a labour intensive and expensive project, so it's probably best that we just keep it to this one section here, because I would assume this is already quite a expensive and difficult project to do. So with regards to what we actually want to add here is the unique factories. You can see I've pretty much built most of them. The only one we're actually lacking is the seafood factory, because I don't have a fishing industry yet, which I am planning to add sooner rather than later. So the car factory, oh my goodness, that is okay, that's huge. We are probably not fitting that anywhere in here. No, there's no way we can fit that in here. The only logical place I can think of having it is over on this side, when we eventually do expand the docks around here, because I have prepared for it. So that'll be one of the things we build last. I'd assume that's the most expensive one as well. It's the one I wanted to build today. I just didn't think it would be that big, but it is. So which one would I actually want? There's only 4 of them, to be fair. The shipyard would be quite nice to have. Obviously that goes on the shore. That could probably go near the car factory down here as well. It's a shame that it can't just fit right behind the steel factory here. Oh my gosh, we're having some traffic issues as well, I've noticed. I don't know where. Is it just because that farm truck was glitched? Where are all these guys waiting to go? Like where's he waiting to turn into? Is he waiting to turn left? And if so, why is he not doing it? And these guys are also waiting to move forward as well. I think there's just some weird City Skylines stuff going on here. Is one of the roads broken? Oh, no, they're moving now. Okay, there we go. People are moving, kind of. Not really. I really don't understand what's going on here. Oh, they're all waiting to come down here. That's why. So what is causing it? Is it really just like it's kind of gridlocked itself? Because these guys want to go in here. They then want to come back out. They're then coming down here. They're trying to go back in. So maybe if I do make this entire thing a one-way system, that would help. So I flip this all around that way. And then it forces them guys to move a bit further down. That is seeming to get the traffic moving. So these guys also want to turn left. So are they all trying to access, like, where does, that's a garbage truck. This wants to get to the grain silo. Where is that? You want to get out. Why would you take, oh, because you can jump straight onto this highway, which is quickest for the farm. Okay. Yeah, that does make some sense. It's kind of baffling me as to why they're not going down here though. I guess they are giving priority to the other guys on the left hand side, but now it's clear. You should just go. Yeah, there we go. Maybe lights here would be better. I would like to put a roundabout in, but obviously we're a little bit close to the electronics factory. Hopefully the traffic lights just help it kind of gain a bit of order though. Although those guys still can't turn left, which is what is causing the issue. Okay, I need to have a think about this. Okay, so I think I found a solution. You can see the majority of the traffic is cleared up. There's just this little bit that's causing a couple of issues, but I would assume now that where everyone is trying to go is clear, this will clear with time as well. It did cause quite a big knock-on effect. Like, there's so many, mainly commercial vehicles and trucks that either have just deposited stuff at the harbour or are bringing stuff back from the harbour into the city. Because the cargo train station, they both run into an underground tunnel and connect in here, and that has all backed up, and it is clearing. The traffic is moving now. It's just taking a while, but I don't mind there just being stacked up cars here because it's all contained within the port. It's not causing any massive knock-on effects into the city. And to be honest, with the way City Skylines forces you to use harbours, like with the one road attached to it, and then you just have the one lane where they turn in and come back out, you always get traffic here no matter what, and the bigger your city gets, the busier it gets. But they're no longer backing up into the toll booth, which they were previously, which means the tail end of the traffic is getting closer to the head of it, which means it will eventually clear up. So now that we've got that traffic issue sorted, we can move on. Actually, obviously I think I had it in the time lapse where you saw what I did, but all I did was remove the left turn here. So to access any of the waste transfer facility, which is mainly what it's for, just the garbage trucks that were causing some issues, you can just turn in right, turn left, and then come straight down here. Oh, there's a camera lag then. But what I don't like is they're using the right hand lane to turn left, so I'm just going to disable that. So that is what is happening now. And then what they do, you have all these factories and warehouses that have access to this road to join onto the highway, or the rest of the vehicles are going that were here can come up here now and then turn off, take this lane that joins up. I'm gonna pre these two up later, and then they both merge into the highway that themselves off. Back to the outside world. So that is all fixed, meaning this area can finally get its unique factory or factories. I don't know whether I'm adding 1 or 2. I don't think we can fit 3 in, but I'm just gonna add 1 or 2 and then add zoned industry. So it's out of these 3 mainly, which is the food factory, which is a pretty easy size. The sneaker factory, which is also not too bad. And then the modular house factory, which is the bigger one. I don't think that'll fit in here actually either. I mean, we could take the road a little bit back further, but then we'd be kind of digging into the mountain, which I'd prefer not to do. So we've kind of had our question answered by the size, which is the sneaker factory and the food factory. Now, I think the food factory could actually, I think we could fit these both in pretty easy, to be honest. The sneaker factory can just go in here because we can add roads either side of it. And then with regards to the food factory, I could put it here, but I think I'm going to knock it back. So what I want to do is add a road straight across from the traffic light. If I find the industrial road, here it is. And then across from the traffic light, I add this in. The food factory should fit in perfectly now, which it does. Look at that, right up against the retaining wall, nicely done. And the sneaker factory is also included, so they need a lot of raw material. Now you can see that we do have glass and metal already in these warehouses, which neither use, so that's helpful. So where are our current, so they have paper over here, which I would assume is close enough. They both need plastics, and I think we're relatively short on plastic. This is one of the issues I have. Oh, plastics is a real issue. Where is our plastics storage? You can see there's so many warehouses. Okay, we have 1 small warehouse on plastics. Now if we look at our oil industry, which is all the way over here, we're outputting quite a lot of plastics. And where do plastics come from? Okay, so there's plenty coming out there. So I think we do have enough production for plastics. But what I might do is up that. So what I'll do for now is add these 2 small open core warehouses, and I think due to the fact we're actually lacking plastics, I'm going to put them both on it, and I'll keep them on balance just so we can, rather than putting them straight into the factories, we can actually keep a reserve of plastics, given that we do seem to be running short on them at the minute. So hopefully it's just the fact that we don't have many plastic warehouses down here. I do keep getting frame drops. Okay, never mind. We actually do have plastics coming in via rail. I would assume that's also taking its time to get out because of the traffic, although the traffic does clear up as soon as you come out of the tunnel, so it actually only has this small corner of traffic to wait in. Yeah, all the traffic is actually cleared, so I'm quite happy with the way that turned out. There's just 1 or 2 things that bug me, which is left-hand turns and straight on in the same. So I just keep spotting stuff like that and ironing it out. And then flour and, so flour is the only other thing. Flour and petroleum. So I would assume flour is stored somewhere over here. Okay, we have petroleum as well. Plain timber in there. Paper. I don't think we actually have anywhere to store flour, or is that in the silos? Okay, so crops are stored in the silos, which we know because it's from here. feel like I should know a little bit better, but I don't really do. I love doing the industry, but I don't actually do that much. Okay, so we do have silos that are all empty, which is not a good sign. Actually, I better hook these guys up with water before they start complaining too bad, because they have got the base. They're not actually producing anything yet because they don't have all their materials. With regards to crops and flour, okay, we're outputting. We're not out. Oh no, we are outputting loads. So where's it all stored? Okay, so this all needs to go on empty because we have so many crops stored over the farming area that aren't getting transferred over. And then flour. Flour is the one thing that I'm unsure about. I think it's produced in like a factory, so it'll be over here. Yeah, okay. Right, so we do also have plenty of flour. And we have loads of animal products as well. We'll get it all on empty because it's just money sat there. We'll get the animal products unbalanced actually. But yeah, we're producing plenty of flour. So all I need to do is place a flour warehouse down near here, which fits in really nicely. So it is just flour, petroleum and plastics. And then, well, obviously, with regards to petroleum and plastics, we are just actually lacking the resource. Never mind the, okay. What it seems like, we have these unbalanced. They should aim for 50%. And we have so much oil stored. And what I think the issue is we don't have enough processing buildings. So that's not an issue for now because I was just going to focus on doing general industry in this area. But I think in the very near future, I should do an episode where we really optimize the industry in this area. So all I need to do is take this road back and then I'll just cut it in here. It's easy to keep everything squared in industrial areas because you don't have to worry about making it look nice. And then what I actually want to do is remove all of the trees. And while we're down in the basin, I actually want to just concrete it all over. Right up to the retaining wall. I'm going to clean up the bits that run over the edge of the top. And then I'll keep that tree for all inside the retaining wall. So just make sure all the ground is covered. And then remove this top edge here. And now, as long as they all have access to water, which a few of them don't. There we go. We now should be able to let all of this fill in. So with that, the downtown is looking way more complete. It just looks so much better once you start filling in all the little gaps, and it all really starts to become one large city rather than loads of tiny individual pieces kind of patchwork together, and you make it kind of flow together quite nicely. And that's what the whole point of today's episode was. I got a little bit distracted at the end with industry, but I just moved past it because that can be left for the future. So all I want to do now from here is probably some public transport refinement. Granted, we just hit about 92,000 population, which is like an extra 5,000 from what we had on all living within the downtown. So it's going to get quite busy now. And moving people around in an efficient way is how we're going to deal with that. And then yeah, it's all starting to fill out really well. We've soaked up all of the demand that we've had because I've done quite a few like niche projects recently with regards to the theme park and the airport, so we've not really been expanding the city as a whole, but it was nice to just do some normal city skyline stuff and just get back to some classic like roadworks and zoning buildings, which was great. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm excited to get cracking with the next one, which should be pretty soon. I want to get it done quick because I'm enjoying playing at the minute, but I hope you enjoyed watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next episode.